Finally, the live button kicked in. Then I have to tell them I don't want their offer. I always have some kind of free thing they want to tell me about. Okay, here we go. Finally.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. My name is Judge Person. I do welcome everybody to the meeting this morning. We're in the Temple Municipal Court, and there are a lot of people, and I've had a little bit of technology happening this morning, and we're running a tiny bit late. My apologies for that, but I also had people coming in late to the pre-meeting, and I'm watching as audio connects. So I get a little redundant right now as I wait to make sure that that I don't give you the boring stuff too soon. And so I do welcome everybody to the Municipal Court. The cases that are filed here are Class C offenses. They result in the imposition of fines and costs. They normally don't result in jail time. People can get warrants for failing to come to court, for failing to complete their court order, which could include classes due or a payment plan. But otherwise, we are just working with fines and costs. So I do want to just kind of highlight that because that can be something that people have questions about. And I am here in part to answer questions, though I cannot give legal advice. We are working through two dockets today. One is the pretrial docket. The other is the regular general docket. And as a result, there'll be a breakout room for folks who have pleaded not guilty and are moving toward trial. I will talk more about that, but I'm going to open that room because be an attorney that we're familiar with, ready to go. And the drill I'm about to go through is something that I know the prosecutor has heard, and so has Ms. Rice, are you just Amanda on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Rice is Amanda Rice is our prosecutor. She's waving, so you know who she is. And I'm actually starting a breakout room. Mr. Tisdale will go ahead and move you forward into that meeting. And then I'm going to make general announcements. When you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods we have for accusing someone. That is what a ticket is. It's an accusation. And when you give a plea, you're giving a response to that accusation. There are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. If you plead guilty, you're saying, I did this. You're admitting that offense. If you plead not guilty, you're asking the court to move your case toward a trial, potentially in front of a jury. If you plead no contest, you're not admitting it, you're not contesting it, you're just asking to move forward with that case without saying you did or did not do it. Now, excuse me, if you plead guilty or no contest, we're going to move into sentencing. Normally, that means the item goes on your record, you pay those fines and costs. Let me talk to you a little bit about options as things go, and I'll do that in just a moment. If you plead not guilty, we're moving that case toward a trial, and a trial means, a jury hearing the case. Now, one of the things I want to tell you is that when you move toward trial, what we're doing there is I have to make sure that I'm not hearing the facts of your case before the right time, which is really in front of a jury at that point. So that's the reason that we do it that way, is because I'm not supposed to predetermine my decision on a case before both parties are heard, essentially within the earshot of the other. On Christopher's A32. I'm trying to find out who you are anyway. But I need you to make sure that people aren't walking in front of the screen in their underwear. That's not going to work out. Could you unmute, though, and tell me your name, Christopher? Christopher's A32?
Yes, ma'am, that's me.
What's your name?
Christopher Williams.
Williams, thank you.
So, yes, I'm just waking up. My apologies, ma'am.
It's okay, but it's court. And if you did that in court,
Of
it would
course.
seriously.
It's pretty terrible.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a good thing. And also, it's your privacy. So anyway, I'm just going to mute you until it's your turn, but I wanted to get your name. I actually have a couple of people like that. I wasn't sure who they were. Ms. Rice, I'll be right with you, but I just want to do this real quickly. Someone with the name Rosie, if you could unmute and just let me know who you are.
Hi, my name is Rosa Martinez.
Okay. Ms. Martinez, do you have a case today or does Kimberly?
It's Kimberly. I'm her guardian.
Okay. Well, okay. So that's fine. I just didn't know. I have to pull a file. And if someone's in here that I didn't know was supposed to be in here, and they're just called, like, for example, I have Galaxy Tab A3. I don't know who that is. So I'm just trying to figure out who people are. Galaxy Tab 2A. I'm asking you to unmute. Sir, you have on a cap. And if you have a cap on, can you hear me? Yeah, I think you can hear me. You need to unmute and tell me your name. Hello? I'll come back. Yeah, I can't hear you.
Okay, ma'am. No, okay, ma'am. I'm there now. I'm sorry.
It isn't you, actually, Mr. Klausen. I've got you. No problem. There were two people wearing hats in court. Gentlemen, yes, sir. You just took your hat off. I'm not. That's great. But your name, please. Unmute and tell me your name. I can't hear you. You have to hit the unmute button. There you go. Perfect.
Okay, my name is Vernon Cummings.
Cummings, Cumming. Gotcha. Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Cummings. That's the other thing is people logged in, and I'm trying to put you in a line, of who logged in where. RJSCR, can you unmute and tell me your name? I've asked you to unmute. I've sent an unmute request. Gentleman with kind of a goatee.
Yes, my name's Robert Scritchfield.
Okay. Scritchfield, got you. Gotcha. Okay. Let me just put that in the system where I know who you are. Well, it's not perfect, but I won't lose track of you. And there's an iPhone. iPhone, just labeled iPhone. I've asked you to unmute. I've asked you to start video. Can you unmute and tell me your name, please?
My name is Ian Lar. I have a case today.
Yes, you do, but I didn't know who you were.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Laura. Let me change that on the screen. Otherwise, you'll lose your place online,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
And I want you to get on screen at sport, and it's kind of like, oh, Joshua Tisdale, are you driving? You can exit court or pull over. We don't drive with the cell phone on. It's illegal.
My wife is holding the phone, ma'am. She's just holding it.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to be looking at it. That really is. It's a traffic.
I apologize. I wasn't, but I can pull over if you like. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't do court and drive. I actually kick people out for that. So I'm gonna actually stop your video until you do.
No, I'm stopped right now.
Yeah. Then you can start your video when you're not doing something illegal on screen. So Ms. Rice, Amanda Sierra, and I think she's been two, or I thought I saw her earlier. That's your case. And Ms. Rice and Mr. Tisdale. So I'll come back when you're pulled over, Mr. Tisdale. You can get on screen when that happens.
I'm pulled over, but it won't let me start the video.
Okay, let's just get your case. Ms. Rice, where are we going with this charge?
Mr. Tisdale requested discovery and he hasn't submitted a motion that I could see. If we could just set him for a discovery hearing, I think that's where we're going to go. And then we'll go from there once he has a chance to look.
We're scheduled for a pretrial on the 23rd of February. And between now and then, I don't have anything on here, so I don't really know, but I can just schedule it for that day. Get that put in.
That'd be fine, Judge. It's February 23rd. Did I hear that?
Yes, but yeah, but you're already scheduled for 2:00 on that day, so we'll just count that as your discovery day.
Okay.
And I'll just count this as an oral motion
Okay.
at this point, unless you want to get specific, you can file what you want to file. But we're going to see you on that day. I'm just checking on one thing real quickly. Do we have prints on that charge? Can we check, please? Are y'all able to check it? It's get with Yolanda. It's a CJIS thing. It's a family violence case. So this is a family violence case, and we do need fingerprints. Mr. Tisdale, was your client arrested?
I believe so, Judge, but I'm not 100% on that one. I apologize. I'm appearing for my associate.
Yeah, do you mind if I ask her that question?
I don't mind. I don't mind, Judge.
Miss Sierra?
Yes.
Miss Sierra, hi. I'm Judge Person. It's a quick question. I'm pulling a system that can tell me the answer, but just trying to move you forward quickly and let you go today, because I know we've got a different direction right now, which is discovery. But I need to find out, were you arrested and taken to the county jail?
Yes.
Okay, then we should have prints. There's new requirements, Mr. Tisdale, Ms. Rice, on these charges, and I have to have that set of fingerprints no matter the outcome, because when I report that outcome, I have to report that outcome with fingerprints. So Ms. Sierra, thank you for letting me know that. I'll verify it, but I'm sure that we're being honest in open court. And I'm going to remute you and let you talk with your attorney about all of that, why I had to do that. That's something he can answer. But so we're moving forward, and we'll see everybody February 23rd. I just wanted to make sure I didn't need to order that to happen.
Totally understand.
Because if we don't have them, then client has to present themselves over to the PD to get fingerprinted before I can do anything with the charge, including a dismissal. So letting y'all go, you're free to go now.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And Ms. Rice, I'm going to advance you forward. I'm still doing announcements though, so let me do that. We should have prints, but we can just verify it later, okay? So I'm moving forward, just letting you know. So with the not guilty plea, I'm going to get back on track with everybody. With the not guilty plea, we're moving that case forward. That's going to go toward trial unless there's a resolution. And there's a two-step process. One is the online process, but thank you. The next one is a live pre-trial. It's not the trial, but you must be here because trials are not something that just happen. There's a process because we're spending taxpayer money. We want to do that efficiently. And the way that we do that is through, pre-trial process. So you're required to be here or you wind up getting a warrant, but there's two-step process to that. Zoom today, a pre-trial, then trial. And so I'm just letting you know that. Now, the second thing is when you plead guilty or no contest, there's still 3 ways to gain a dismissal. Let me tell you what those are. I also want to tell you a couple of things about the money part of this. So the money is the penalty in a Class C court. Occasionally, in addition to that, there's also, a class that might be due, something like that. But in terms of money, you can have 30 days to pay if you need it, okay? If you need more time, a payment plan, I can authorize a payment plan. It adds a little bit of money to the charge one time. So it's a little bit more money. That's state law. I can't change it, okay? Then in terms of folks who don't have income, I have options and programs for people who either have low income or no income. So the money part is solvable as long as you stay in communication with the court. If we wind up in a payment plan, for example, or a class due or hours due, those deadlines are court dates. You should treat them like court dates. Even if you're only going to come by and drop off a piece of paper, it's still a court date, because if you miss it and you don't do the thing that you've promised to do or that you've been court ordered to do, then you wind up with a warrant. And actually a warrant is really the last thing I want to do. So I'm just letting you know that, because if you run into a problem, people can sign up for a payment plan and lose their job. And I don't know unless they tell me. So your court date, if you have a payment due and you can't make it happen now because you got sick and couldn't go to work, or you lost your job, or your spouse lost their job, or you have a sick child, or there's been a death in the family. Those are things that happen in life. It's life. Life happens. I won't know unless you come by, drop me a letter, drop me a note. I have a form you can fill out and talk to me about it. And I review those every time. In fact, I review them every day. I'm probably going to review it that day or the next day. And, we'll send something back out to you. We can email you now under state law. We're allowed to do that. We can have these online meetings. You can drop a letter. I can drop a letter back, but always call and check on it. Sometimes you miss your mail. Sometimes your email filters it out. You got to follow up, okay? Because you can't say, like, I dropped a letter, so the court had to do something to make things get straightened out. You have to make sure it gets straightened out because it's your matter. It's your event, okay? So I'm just kind of letting everybody know that, because there's a level of responsibility taking that if you don't take it, you just get more consequences. It doesn't get solved by anyone else, okay? I can work with you if you're showing up and communicating. So if there's a problem, you got to let me know. You got to follow up on the solution. Does that make sense? To most people, that makes sense. Okay. So anyway, that's the money part. Now, the 4 options for dismissal are compliance dismissals, a driver safety course option, deferred dispositions, and teen court. Let me talk to you about what those mean. So compliance are things that can be brought up to date by law and dismissed. Okay. And if you have something like that, I'll be talking to you about it, seeing if I can get you to that dismissal. I sort of walk you through those. State law says that I shall, and so I shall walk you through those. The second, and those are things like registration that was out. We used to have inspection. If something's broken and you were ticketed for a broken thing on your car, for example, those kinds of things. But you do have to prove that you brought it up to date, okay? The second, and I'll tell you about it. The second option is if you qualify to be in the driver safety course option. For both the compliance and driver safety, you have to be on time, and you have to elect to do it the first time you come to court. There are rare exceptions on that, not on the time, but on maybe if you had a reset, for example. But you can do a driver safety course and get your driving record turned in. You pay your court costs up front. Your fine goes on hold. You turn in your class and your record, and you get a dismissal. Now, just a moment more about money. Every ticket has a fine and a court cost. And when we talk to you about it, we're usually giving you the bottom line, the whole number, okay? But the court cost is set by state law. The fine is set by me as the judge. In the driving safety course option, you're paying just the court costs. Your fine goes on hold. If you turn in your class and your driving record, you get your case dismissed and the fine gets waived. It's cheaper than your ticket. You pay the whole ticket and have it go on your record, or you can pay less and do the class and get your record, driving record turned in. Cheaper, you get it off your record. Now, it's only every 12 months that you can do that from class to class, okay? So I'll have to vet that with you. If you want to do that, we'll talk about it. If you've missed a court date, you disqualified yourself. Court dates, I cannot stress enough how important court dates are to meet them or come in early if you know you can't, okay? Because after the fact, almost never can I make an allowance for it. It's very rare that I get to. I have limits as a judge, just like Ms. Rice has limits as a prosecutor, okay? So anyhow, moving violations on the driver safety course option are cheaper if you do the course, because we want people to take that course about once every 12 months. It makes a difference in the driving habits of that person. So it's really a good idea for everyone that we're driving safer. When you get a ticket, you have moved into a higher risk group. The group as a whole, not you specifically, but the group as a whole is a higher rate of death and dismemberment on Texas roadways. Texas is unfortunately, we are number one in that, in killing people on the road. If you're 25 and under, you're in the super group. It's maximum damage there. So we're trying to move people toward that course, okay, for a really good reason, and you save money. And that's why, okay, the public policy here is safety. The court costs, when you pay them, this court must send those court costs to Austin, to the state, okay? The fine is local. It doesn't enrich the court so much. It's for roadways, sidewalks, things like that, okay? We pay certain salaries even for like public enforcement and public safety people. So just be aware. That's kind of where the money goes in a general way. And the court cost gets collected because the state legislature wrote the legislation for that. That's just how that works. The fine we can waive in that option. So that's the second option. The third option is called a deferred disposition, okay? Deferred means to delay. Disposition means to make a final finding. And in a deferred disposition, I put a court order in place. If you follow that court order during that deferral period, the delay period, then if you meet all the conditions that are in that document, I sign a dismissal. That would be the disposition you're shooting for, okay? There's a little trick, okay? And I want everybody to listen up. The trick to getting a deferred disposition in a Class C court is you can ask the judge for it. When you go to a B court, Class B, Class A, or felony court, the prosecutor must be part of that proceeding. In a Class C court, it's rare that you have to have the prosecutor on board. If you have something like that and you ask for a deferred, I'll let you know. Okay, so don't be shy. But you can also ask the prosecutor for a deferred. Neither of us has to give you one, okay? Ultimately, I have to agree and sign it. So it's a permission thing, okay? So how do you get permission? Guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred. It's quite simple. There's not a lot of legal jargon. If you don't remember anything, just I'd like a deferred is how you ask. If you don't ask when your plea is being entered, you waive it. You can't have it, okay? Everybody got that? The law says I'm just assume that you know all of this. So most of us didn't wake up thinking about it, including attorneys, okay? So that's how that works. That's number 3. The fourth option is the teen court option. Teen court is very much like a deferred, but it works a little differently in play because you're in high school or middle school. And what we're looking to do at that point is just address the behavior that got you here and maybe see if we can keep you from coming back. We wouldn't mind waving at you at the grocery store, but here in the court, we'd like to not see you again. Young people, we want to get you back on track. Class Cs can alter your future. If you get certain types of Class Cs, there are careers that you cannot have in the future. There is some shielding of that. It's not absolute. We want to work with you on that. Okay. So we're very much here to do the right thing. Okay. That's the 101. I know it takes a little while, but once we get everybody on the same page, I don't have to do this, 14 different times. You'd really get bored if I did that with each person. Okay. And so the better option is give the overview. When it's your turn, when you have questions, speak up. Okay. When you and I are talking, you can say, I have questions. Okay. And if I can't answer them, I'll let you know why. So don't be shy about that. Ms. Rice, moving you forward. Ms. Tisdale, I'm sorry, Mr. Tisdale was the attorney that came in, but Ms. Sierra, you are excused from court. You're good to go. Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. We'll see you. Okay. So Ms. Rice, your next person is Candace Reimer. I believe Ms. Reimer was on the call. There you are. And so Ms. Reimer, you're going to receive an invitation to a meeting. And that meeting is with Ms. Rice. She represents the state of Texas. You're going to go on over to that meeting. Once you are done with that meeting, you're coming back in here because we need to talk again one more time. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. And you'll click on it. So it'll take you over. Just a quick question. I have a phone caller online, 254 area code, case ending or number, the last three or four numbers, 767. Can you unmute? We need to be able to communicate. Telephone caller, can you unmute?
Yes.
Hi, who are you, please?
Amanda Hamilton.
Thank you, Ms. Hamilton. Let's see. And I had you on a video and then it turned into a phone call. Are you having technology problems this morning?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I actually have you already counted in because I saw you come in the first time. And I'm gonna just you need to stay handy. And listen, it's sometimes the phone call folks have a tendency to I don't know, zone out and not pay attention. But we will get to you. I promise. I assure you that we will. Okay. I'm gonna mute you again, but listen carefully because I will call your name. Okay. And then I just want to go ahead and move forward with Zaria Hutchinson. Can you unmute while I get your file pulled up?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Okay. I'm Judge Person. I reviewed all the information that you sent to me. I had a couple of questions so that I can make a good decision in your case. These are already decided. They've been what we call adjudicated. A guilty finding has happened, but we were looking and you had requested to make a payment in 30 days. I noticed a couple of things. The work that you're doing, it's good job. Sounds really good. It looks like it's temporary. Sometimes temporary employees are temporary for a really long time. I don't know legally about all that, but like at Walmart, I'll see like a temporary employee for like 3 years, and I suspect things are happening there that maybe aren't the best. That person deserves some benefits perhaps, but is your case one of those cases or is this like a short thing?
Yeah, it's short term. I started about 6 months ago and my position has already ended.
You're not even there anymore?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are you anywhere else yet?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So right now income is not coming in.
No, ma'am.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know. I was concerned about that. So what I can do in this case, I know you said 30 days, but I can actually shift what we're doing and move toward community service. And if we did that, okay, that would be 35 hours for both of the cases. And that would turn into something that, you chip away at. Now, the first deadline I would give you would be April 5th. And at that point, if you have it all done and turned in and we've been able to verify it, you're done. If we can't verify it or it's not, you did it at the wrong places, then we run into issues. Or sometimes people sign up to do it. It's just like a payment plan. You sign up and then you lose your job. You can sign up for community service and get an illness and not be able to go do it. Or you can have a family member. And I pray that doesn't happen to anyone here. But if it does, you come in and communicate, okay? So what are your thoughts on maybe completing community service instead of payments? You muted yourself. Let's unmute. Sorry, something happened.
I'm
Just
sorry.
unmute. There you go. No, it's fine.
Yeah, so, okay. Well, I wanted to know about like what kind of community service, because I'm 5 months, I'm pregnant.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to know, like, I know how much my balance is, and I know today I could give you guys like $400.
Okay.
But then I know probably like in the next 2 weeks, I'd be able to like finish paying.
Okay. Can I just ask, like, is someone helping you? You don't have to tell me all about it, but like, do you have help? Because again, it's difficult for me. I have to make a good decision. If your doctor, first of all, there's community. Let me answer your first question. Let me give you some secondary thoughts, okay? First question, and this is true for other people who have community service do and things like that. It has to be a nonprofit. I have a starter list. Some of it is labor, not all of it is. Any nonprofit, I will allow it as long as it is a nonprofit in Texas. I've been running into problems where people say they went to a nonprofit. I call and it's not. I look online and it's not, if you leave the list, you have to make sure, and it's your duty to do that at that point. But
Yeah.
I will allow any nonprofit. It's just there are too many for me to list. I've listed the ones that I know don't mind a lot of people coming in. So there's that. Back to the question of your pregnancy. And if you have a high risk or an issue there, you could get me a doctor's note that says you can't do the community service, and I can waive partially. Like if you really could afford to give us $400, I could probably either do a waiver on the balance or get a reduction to get you to that point. So, but I don't want to take that money if that's the money you have to live on to get to the next phase. You've got children, you're pregnant. You know, I am not here. I'm here to get a fine paid, basically. That's a penalty. But what I'm really here to do is to make a court order that is a consequence, so that the person doesn't do it again. Right?
Okay.
For
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
were you able to get your license back?
No, I haven't gotten my license yet.
Okay, hold on. Let me get one. Oh, talk. Yes. I'm just off screen.
Oh no, I was just saying, like I did went and got my state ID, but I don't have my license currently.
How to get your license?
I'm sorry.
Know what you need to do to get a license?
What do I need to do to get my license back active?
Okay, so what I'm going to do is make a note to put a packet together, Ms. Hutchinson, that is a walkthrough to get your license back. And see, I can actually count that as part of your community service. Do you want to pay that $400 today? Is that something that is going to deplete you, or is that something where someone's helping you? We can just move right into community service. Let's move to community service.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you the information. I'm also going to give you a packet for getting your license back. If you get a license, an occupational or your regular license back, and present it and drop me a note, tell me the steps that you took to get it, I will give you some credit hours for that. I've got to see what you did. Kind of generally, not all of it, but just give me a line by line. I did these steps, and I'll give you some credit for that as well. Okay.
Okay.
Up to 20 hours I could do. It's a lengthy process. Once you've gotten in kind of deep, you're in a little, not the deepest I've ever seen. And I see people with much bigger problems and they get them solved. Okay. But the licensing information is something I can give you. I need to make a packet for you because I'm updating that information. When can you come in and sign for your order about community service? Can we get you in this morning or this afternoon? Which is going to work best?
Maybe this afternoon.
Okay, look, can we be definite about it? It's court, and I'm supposed to get you in today to get a signature.
Okay, yes, ma'am. This afternoon I can.
Can someone lawfully bring you over? I know you're in code. Okay.
Yes.
All right, we're going to do community service, and I'll get a packet ready after court. So this afternoon, I'm just making a note for the clerk.
Okay.
What's this coming in? And I'll get a packet ready for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No, that was it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Do I leave the meeting or stay?
You can leave.
Okay.
So moving forward, let's see, I don't see Miss Rice anywhere. Moving forward with Natasha De La Rosa. If you can unmute Miss De La Rosa.
Yes, ma'am.
And give me just a moment to pull your file. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. I did review the information that you gave me, and are you enrolled in school?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where do you go to school?
Belton High School.
And what grade are you there?
I'm a senior.
Okay, great. Good for you. I don't have proof of enrollment. I need that for teen court. There are 2 charges, okay? One is a minor in possession of alcohol, and it has fines and costs of $296. The other is failing to yield the right of way from an emergency vehicle, and the fines and costs on that one are $269. That appears to be some sort of crash. And then minor in possession of alcohol. Now, on the minor in possession of alcohol, the costs and fines are $296. Also, the law requires that you take an alcohol intervention class, an alcohol awareness class. And if you do not take it, I suspend your license. Okay. And also that within that course, you do up to 12 hours of alcohol related community service. So you qualify for teen court if I can get an ID or proof of enrollment from you. Can you bring that to us today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's going to be part of your teen court because I can't really order it until I get the information. So there are 2 $20 fees for teen court. That's a total of $40. And I need to see if you can pay that today in cash.
Yes.
Okay, that's a teen court fee. And then we'll need your ID. And then what I'm going to have you do is take a driver safety course and also an alcohol awareness class. And that's going to be at your own expense. Okay. And the class, both of those classes are going to be due. We're going to have them due quickly, which is March 3rd. You're going to have to get on this like today. Okay. But
Yes.
if you get both of the classes done and the alcohol community service hours, I'm going to build into your class. You can do it online. Your driving safety, you can do online. You turn it in and I dismiss your charge and I waive the $565.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
What time will you be here?
You mean like the next hour? In the next hour or so, whenever.
Okay, no rush. We'll have things ready probably by then, okay? You'll come to the lobby again. It won't be very long. Okay?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Ms. De La Rosa. Do you have any questions? We will give you class information.
Okay.
when you're here, okay? If you have questions at the clerk, read everything carefully before you sign it. A parent is welcome to come in. They're not required, but we welcome them. I kind of hear maybe there's a parent. That's fine. And just make sure all your questions are answered. If you have a question a clerk can't answer, you can drop me a note at the window, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
On that one, class information. Ms. Rice, I'll be right with you. I just want to do make sure I'm putting the right hour. So on that one, it's 16 hours. She can take one 16-hour course or up to 2 courses for up to 16. Actually, it's 20. It's funny, they used to have to do more, but because there's no live class. Ms. Rice, I'm sorry, I'll be right with you. Oh, I didn't sign it, I just wrote it in. Sorry. Let me have it right back. Let me have it back real quickly, please. Thank you. Thank you. There's everything. All right, moving along. Ms. Rice, I think you were talking to Ms. Reimer, is that right?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Okay, and Ms. Reimer, you can unmute as well. I'm going to ask Ms. Rice first. Are we heading to resolution? Or are we heading to trial?
We've reached resolution, Your Honor. State's going to request the court to dismiss, and I will send over that dismissal after court today.
Okay, and so prosecutor dismissal, you're sending over, and I'll sign it. I believe, Ms. Reimer, at that point, your cases will be concluded with the court. We will email that to you at the email that you received the court information to log in today. Does that email still work?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Okay, so we'll send that dismissal to you later today, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're good to go. And Ms. Rice, moving you forward, your next person is Brian Klausen. Mr. Klausen, you've probably already seen the drill, but what's going to happen is you'll get an invitation. You'll go have a meeting. You'll come back into this room before we go today, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Klausen.
Thank you.
Be coming right your way. And then moving forward, I want to talk next to Miguel Trevino Lopez. Mr. Lopez, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me pull your file, hold on. And I have a request for teen court. Do you understand English enough for us to talk openly in court today?
Yes, no.
Okay, my Spanish is a little rusty, so that's good. There are options if it doesn't work, and we can explore those, but the simple way is just to move forward today. I do have proof of enrollment at the high school, and I show that you're a sophomore, and we're moving. You had asked for teen court after pleading no contest to a no driver's license charge, which had fines and costs of $181. I'm sorry, you pleaded guilty. And then a stop sign, running a stop sign. You had fines and costs of $234, and you had entered a plea of guilty. This is January 8th, stop time. And the request is for teen court, which I will grant. First, I need to ask you the pleading of guilty. Do you understand your options for pleading guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Yes, no.
Okay, and you have pleaded guilty to both of these charges?
Yes, no.
Okay, and my first question is, are you in the process, you're old enough to be, of getting your license?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you in the process?
I'm like almost done.
Okay, so you've already taken your class?
I'm taking it.
You're taking it now. When do you expect to complete that class?
Within the next probably couple hours, maybe.
Okay, so I can get your provisional license or permit from you in the next 30 days then, right?
Yes, no.
Okay. So here's the deal. The reason I'm asking is you're already taking a driving course. It's probably a little bit too redundant to take another one. The first layer that they make you take, it's much longer than what we do for like a regular ticket. So I'm going to count that class by you bringing me the part of your teen court. Okay.
Yes, no.
Get the class list. And then I'm going to order a life choices or a life skills class for you to take as part of teen court. This is all going to be less expensive than your ticket. Okay. But I have a 10-hour life skills class. Now, first thing I want to ask you is, there are two $20 fees for the teen court process. That's $40. Can you pay that today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then your driving permit by March 3rd. And then your life skills class, which you pay for, they're not terribly expensive. They're much less than your ticket. But I need that one due by March 3rd. Okay.
Is that one online?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So a life skills class and your permit and your $40 and your case is dismissed. Must be on time. Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm just putting a note on your file for that. And when are you coming in to sign your documents, this morning or this afternoon?
This morning.
Okay, we should have everything pretty soon. At the window, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions?
No, that's all.
I'll let you go. We'll see you up here soon. You are a minor though, so that your parent needs to come sign with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so bring them with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't drive anyway. All right, sounds good.
All right.
Okay, so I'm moving forward with Janice Miller.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you, Ms. Miller?
Doing okay, thank you. How about yourself?
Thanks for asking. I'm doing well. I'm getting your file pulled up too. And I did read everything that you sent in. And I had a quick question for the clerk about your file. Can you give me just
Okay.
one moment?
Okay.
Oh, I remember this one. Yeah. So what we're still trying to get from you is community service.
I thought I'd sent in the paper.
Okay. We weren't able to verify those hours.
Oh.
Let me look and see what the notes say about that, because I have a clerk who specifically, we have to verify the hours.
Right.
The notes. Yeah. Yeah, so here's what happened.
Okay.
And let me also, the provider we cannot reach anyone to verify those hours. We
Okay.
left messages, multiple messages. We don't hear back from them. And I'm just pulling it to see who it was.
Would I be able to reach out to them and have them call you?
Yes. How do you know these folks?
I actually met them here. It's a bakery. And the person just needed help like setting up, doing like markets and
So
like.
if you read your community service handout, which is a single page, it says at the bottom, if you leave this list and I've also talked about it. It must be a nonprofit organization. Do you think Marla's Bakery is a nonprofit?
I didn't ask.
I'm thinking they're not, because we checked the state registry
Mhm.
and we didn't find it, and we called and we couldn't get an answer. But I don't, they can call us, but if they're not able to prove that they're a nonprofit, I cannot accept it. The law doesn't let me accept it. It must be a
Okay.
nonprofit. I can give you more time. But
The
it has
issue
to
that
be
I'm
a
running
non-
into is still like people who are not taking. I'll start calling around again, but I might just like reach out and set up a payment plan for the fine.
Yeah, well, you can do that. I'm just telling you, I'm a community of 75,000 people, and I've got 14 places.
Yeah,
And so I just don't believe that all of El Paso with several million people have 0 places. I just don't.
no, I don't think it's a fewer places. It's just my reach is not that big. So it's more of a me issue. But I'll reach out to a few more places and see what I can find. But I might just reach back out to you and just set up a payment plan to pay the fine.
Okay, if you want to do that, you can write a letter. I'm gonna give you an extension. We've been a year now. We will have been a year trying to do this. And it's April 5th is your new due date.
Okay.
And we'll send you to the email we have on file. And we've also reached out and sent you a list of nonprofits in your community. I feel like
yes, I did remember that. I reached out to all of those.
Ms. Miller, I feel like the court has been more than patient, but I need to see something happen here.
Okay.
One of the reasons I have deadlines, even when it's a lot of hours, is to check and see if someone's getting off on the wrong track and not going to a nonprofit. I will allow an extension, April 5th, and we'll send a timesheet to you. And then, we have to say to you, this is your court order and you need to follow it. Okay, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
And Ms. Rice, you were talking with Mr. Klausen, I believe. Are we heading to resolution? Or are we heading to trial?
We've reached resolution, Your Honor. I believe that Mr. Klausen qualifies for the prosecution motion number 19. And I can send over dismissal if the court needs, or
I don't think we need it. Number 18.
Okay, it's 19, I believe.
19. Prosecutor order number 19. Mr. Klausen, can I send that dismissal to the email that we have on file that we set this meeting up with?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
We'll send that to you today, okay?
I do appreciate your time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you for your respect.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, and so Ms. Rice, moving forward, your next person, actually, I think you might be done. Let me double check. In case I missed it, Rebecca Allen, are you out there with anybody else? And also Quentin Flowers, are you out there with anybody else? Okay, moving forward, Ms. Rice, you're excused from court. Thank you for your time today. We'll see you.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. And then I am moving forward with, let me just look, Azaria Thibodeau. Ms. Thibodeau, can you hear me? Hello. Good morning. I can't hear you yet, but just unmute and I should be able to hear you. It's going to help if you sit down and hold still, only because the technology is such that when we move around, you're on a bandwidth that's challenged with a lot of us all logged in one place. It tends to be, it creates more challenges. So I'm glad you're able to kind of hopefully get somewhere and sit down. Can you do that?
Okay, I can hear you.
Yes, I know you can hear me. I did receive a request for reduction and a request to waive the costs. The costs can't be waived at all. I have no ability to do that. But I'm looking, we have a warrant I know you're wanting to get your driver's license back. You're in Waco, so I'm not sure that you can drive all the way down here. I can send you some DL information. Let's see, but mostly it's going to be just to a website that can walk you through how to do that. It will, you're right, include this court. I did review your income information. Let me get back and look at it. I do show that you have an ability, you can pay. I could do a little bit of a reduction of fines, but to be perfectly honest with you, the majority of the money that's on this charge is really not showing up fees. And those not showing up fees are warrant fees, failure to appear fees, collection fees, holds on the license fees, those kinds of fees. I can't reduce them or waive them. The law doesn't really let me do those types of waivers and reductions. There was kind of an offer built into this. I think that's your case. I didn't write it down. Hold on, let me review it one more time. So you were offering, you offered to pay the fine. It wasn't a specific amount that you offered. What is the max that you could pay today? I'm going to see if I can reduce to get you there, but I don't know if I can.
I know I could pay 200. Oh, am I on? Okay.
You're on.
I'm sorry. I know I could pay 200, but just let me know what I need to do and I'll just try to make it work.
Right. So right now the balance is $855.27. Right. I mean, like why no? Warrant fees are $50 each every time they happen. Collection fees are a percentage. I can do some reductions. I can't get you to 200. I could probably get you down to about 6 or 650. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see, state costs, fees, fines, local fees. So yeah, maybe close to 650 or 7 on that one. Just give me one moment. That's the speeding charge, is that right? Okay, that's the less expensive. Take the fine down to $25. Are you able to do reductions directly? Okay. I have to get someone to work on that, and let me look at the other one. Thank you so much. I'm just talking to a clerk. That's why my voice is dropping down. And on that one, the same. Okay, can you stay on hold for a moment and let me go to the next person and come back to you? I want to see what I can get your total to.
Okay.
To come back to you, okay?
And then once you get that total, would we be able to make payments on that or would I have to pay that?
You still could. I'm just trying to connect it to the level of income that you have, as opposed to being as high as it is, which is not. There's a formula that I use to think about it. Yes, the answer is yes, payment are available, but I also hear what you're trying to do, which is to get your license. This has to get completed and zeroed out for me to release the hold. So I'm trying to get you there faster. You have income. It's not unlimited. You're going to need to budget, and I'm trying to work with that. So give me a few minutes.
Thank you.
To assuage your anxiety, we are going to be able to take the warrants off, turn them off.
Okay, it does.
And work out a payment option that you will be able to say to me, yes, I can do that. That's my goal. Okay.
Thank you.
Hold on, and I'll be back with you. All right. So I'm going to move forward for the time being while folks in the back work on that. And I'm going to talk to Amanda Hamilton. Ms. Hamilton, I know you're on the telephone. Can you unmute and talk to me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And I'm just getting your file pulled up. I did review it yesterday. Here's the thing with your situation. I can just add these cases. I had a rubbish charge, 2 of those. And that's really not been what I've seen you for before. So I just want to let you know, it's a good idea. Even though we're going to move toward adding these to your community service, you also, just for your own benefit, need to solve the problem of what's happening on the property in question so that we can get, you don't get more tickets. But what I would do with this is add these cases to your community service order. And that turns into, these are heavier fines type cases. That turns it into 94 hours of community service. Your due date was today for your other community service. Have you been able to get any of those hours done or some of them?
No, ma'am. Nobody will allow me to do community service due to I don't even have an ID. My driver's license was suspended for some reason, and nobody can tell me why.
Okay. So I can tell you that it's probably usually it's old tickets. The ones that we did convictions on recently could also be part of that. I can give you a packet for how to basically run that information down and how to try to get an occupational license. I'm making a list today. There's a lot of folks needing that information today. So Ms. Hamilton, I can help you get on the track of figuring that out for yourself, okay? I can't do it for you because I can't represent you, but I can hand you some information that's basically available to everyone online. People just maybe have a hard time finding it. I'll tell you the truth, sometimes it moves because they update it and change where it is. So I print it and I can give you a copy of that. I'm willing, if you get your license or an occupational license, and you just write me a letter spelling out what you had to do, just give me a list of steps you took, I can credit you up to 20 hours of the community service for getting lawful on the road, okay? As far as an ID to go do community service, a hold on the license does not hold your ID. You could get a Texas ID. So you may want to start with a Texas ID so you have government issued identification on your person. And depending on your steps there, I've never given credit for that before, but I might be willing to. You'll have to write me a letter and spell it out and I'll tell you what I think. But you need it to do the rest of this. So it's probably worth doing. And then getting your license. Well, you can have an ID and a license. You can have more than... Just can't have more than, you can't drive on the ID, but you can't, it's a good source of identification. And then you get a DL, you can't have more than one DL. Okay. But, I'm going to go ahead and extend your community service deadline right now to April 5th and add these new hours. I don't expect that you will have it all done by that deadline, but I would expect to see that you're getting on track. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you already have the community service information, although we just updated our list. So we'll give you a new list and a packet. I need an hour or so to get that all printed up and ready for you. So can we expect you around noon?
Around noon?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I'll just add it on to what we're already doing and try to get you to get on track, okay?
Okay, I have a question. I just received another one in the mail for February 14th, court for rubbish.
Is it for, okay. Does she have a new charge? Let me look and see what's going on with that.
It was printed out on the 24th and I just went to court.
I don't have
any.
any. Yeah, sometimes there's a cross in the mail. I have a plea on the 2 cases pending. Is she set for the 14th for some reason on one of those? Does she have a show cause on anything else? Shouldn't be. It should be my court. You shouldn't be able to get a rubbish charge anywhere else. So I don't see anything for the 14th. I don't think that that's happening now at this point, whatever it was. It might have been a summons on something and you came in and we rerouted you and the letter was already in the mail.
Okay.
I have everything on track, one step forward, all of it together with a due date of May 5th. Okay.
May 5th. Okay.
Yes. Now come by the court. We'll give you license information. And it's a step-by-step process for getting an occupational license. Along the way, you'll look and see if you can get just a regular license and not an occupational. But if you can't get a regular license, you can get an occupational. If you're unable to afford the court costs at the JP court where you get the occupational, they have a waiver system, and I'll include that form. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. And take care. Give me just a little time to pull your packet together. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And I'm moving forward and just want to, let's see, that was my next person is, all right. My next person is going to be Christopher Williams. And Mr. Williams, if you could unmute and let's have
Hello.
you. Hi. I did review all the information that you gave me. Thank you for that. And I just a real quick question. Has anything changed since we last spoke and I did your community service order?
Just my rent and a couple bills, like they increased.
Have you,
Electric.
you have Social Security coming in? That's the income that you have?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's your current rent now?
It is at $450, I believe. $350. It should be $350.
$350?
I pay $350. It evaluates. Yes, ma'am. It depends. My roommates come in and out the house. My family members, obviously, brothers, sisters, cousins, and when they move in, rent goes up and down.
I see. Okay, that helps. I just made a note of that. And then you said
It's
the
family.
electric bill has gone up. What is that normally?
Normally it's 2 something, but I'm not gonna lie to you, with the cold winter, it's gonna be looking like a $600 bill this month.
Okay. And then your water bill, has that stayed steady?
Yes, ma'am. It's about
Okay.
$55 a month.
Okay. Yeah, your
$100.
other bills, I don't see how you actually get all of this paid. I can still continue.
I do lawn care. I do handyman jobs like mount TVs for a little extra buck. My roommates help me out. They take care of the other bills. I take care of my priorities: rent, electric, water.
Yeah.
I get SNAP. What's it called? That's how I pay for my food.
Okay. Well, I can continue with community service. Do you have a provider where you're going?
Provider?
A place where you're doing community service?
I look around. It's kind of a challenge. Either they're too full, they're closed down due to COVID. I mean, I'm consistent too. I'm calling every day, or worst case scenario, every 3 days. You know, I try not to hound people too much. This has really proven to be difficult. My financial situation has increased. I'm about to pay off a ticket, hopefully this month. I was hoping to make payments, so I'm not wasting your time. And I was wondering if I could do community service also too, to like catch up on hours if possible.
Okay.
I'm having health issues.
So the health issues, can you talk to your doctor? If your doctor says you can't do community service, I can waive it.
Okay.
What's going on with your health?
Having a lot of hemorrhoids. I got shot in my stomach. Like I've been feeling nauseated and sick. Ulcers are burning my stomach. It's hard to stand. My legs have nerve damage from my injuries too.
Okay. So talk to your doctor. I'm going to extend you right now. We can change to money if you want to do that. I would probably do some reductions in that event. I think I could do $25 a month. You could pay more if you want to. Why don't we extend one more time on community service though, to April 5th. And let's see if you can get me a doctor's note on time by that deadline.
And I have some hours done. I do have some hours done.
Are they at a nonprofit?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's when I was living in Temple.
Okay, send those to me. You can email them. Talk to your
Yes,
doctor.
ma'am.
Talk to your doctor and see if he or her can just say he can't do the community service because of a medical condition. They don't have to tell me all about it. They can just tell me their opinion. The conclusion is all I care about.
Yes, ma'am.
And let me see if I can change what we're doing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mr. Williams. Yeah. So take a deep breath. We've got 60 more days to try to sort it out. We can always shift to money, but right now I'm more interested in seeing if a waiver is appropriate.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Thank
I'll
you.
let you go. Okay. Don't forget the deadline. We'll send you. Can we email? Sorry, let me put a note on my email. Can we
Yes, ma'am.
email?
I can email.
Okay, we'll email the extension with a, like, in the form of a new timesheet.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
But just remember that
Thank you
is
so much,
subject.
Your Honor.
Yeah, that's subject to, you know, if medical conditions count, as do circumstances. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna let you go. Okay. Don't miss your deadline.
Take
Okay.
care. Stay
That
warm,
way,
everyone.
like, just drop me a letter on or before your deadline. Send me everything you can, any hours you've done, any doctor note, a letter just telling me what you've been doing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I'm going to put you on my list to maybe email your DL information, how to get your license back.
Thank you. I would appreciate that.
Yeah, I got you on my list. Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. You take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye. And I'm moving forward. My next person is Robert Scritchfield. Mr. Scritchfield, good morning. Am I saying your name correctly?
That's better than most people. It's Scritchfield. Yes.
Scritchfield, yes. Okay, so that's a really unusual name. I haven't seen that name ever, which is saying a lot for me after 25 years. So anyway, I did review everything. I did, you know, I noticed that your monthly income, it's not terrible, but you have a lot more bills than that can cover. How do you
Yeah.
make that work? How do you make that work?
Well, it's been coming out of what I had in my retirement savings, and
Okay.
it's not too good. And I just wanted to comment. This is the ticket that I received,
Yes.
and I can't read a thing on it. I had to call to
Yes.
find out when I was supposed to appear.
Yes, I understand that. Let me ask you a question. You requested a deferral, which I am willing to grant. Okay. Consider that I have granted that request. I
Thank
am
you, Your
seeing-
Honor.
Yes, you're welcome. I'm seeing that you don't have the ability to pay this ticket. Then I would normally order community service. However, you have, I think, a disability. No harm or shame in that, but I need to make adjustments. And so I'm not sure that you could do the community service. I also know Rogers. I've had people give me community service from Rogers. They've gone to like a local church and donated time. I do allow any nonprofit to be a provider. I don't really police that other than I verify that it really is a nonprofit. Otherwise, I don't tell you, you have to go here, you can't go here. You can't go to a profit organization. You can go to any nonprofit organization and do any activity that that nonprofit deems appropriate for their services. I've had people put stuff envelopes at a church. I've had people clean a pew. I've had people, you know, work feeding people who are hungry for a service that's provided in their community. So I don't really, people go to the library, they donate time. Libraries are nonprofits, so are schools, so are churches. So really any nonprofit. I also can take into consideration anything that your doctor tells me I need to know, not really disclosing all your health information. I'm not interested in having that in my file, just the conclusion of the person can or cannot do community service in the community that you're in, okay? So I don't expect you to come to Temple to do the service. Those are the providers I have on the list because I just can't, it's rare that I go try to find it for you. So I can do that, or I can take a letter from your doctor it's going to be a condition of the deferral. The deferral would be 120 days. That's June 2nd. During that time, I need to either get a doctor's note excusing you or the community service hours. It's 14 hours in this case. I'm not going to require a class in your case because the speed was not excessive. However, just no warrants and no more tickets during the deferral, and we solve the money problem with either community service or a doctor's excuse by the 5th of April.
What is the fine?
The fine is $254.
Because I didn't even think the officer was coming after me, because I had a guy pass me and I was looking at Highway 190, and then all of a sudden there he was.
Yeah. So, you've entered a plea that lets me do a deferral. Before I finalize that, if you want to contest it, you can talk to the prosecutor and see about coming to trial. It's up to you. I can do a deferral and I don't have to collect money. I have to either collect money, community service, or a note of excuse. So what's it going to be? What do you want to do?
I'll go with the deferral.
Okay. When can you sign your paper? I normally try to do it today. I can email it to you if you can print it and sign it and either scan it or take a photo and send it back to me.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. I'll email it. There'll be a place for you to sign at the bottom. I'll sign it and you sign it. And then it's just going to list the things you have to do. Okay.
Okay.
And then we'll also send you community service information. The main thing is to read the directions that tells you what I've told you about finding a provider. And okay, do you have any questions?
No, I don't. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. We'll get that order back from you today, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. And so I'm moving forward. That was Mr. Scritchfield. My next person is Mr. Laura. Ian, Laura, can you get on the screen?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hi, how are you, Mr. Laura?
I'm doing fantastic. What about yourself, Your Honor?
I did not understand you. Can you say that again?
Sorry, I'm doing fantastic, Your Honor. What about yourself?
Great, I'm doing fine. We have a show cause. We had teen court. We needed your driving safety course. We needed your tobacco class, both all on the 14th of December. I did not receive those items. Do you have them in your possession?
Yes.
When
no,
did you
ma'am, I do not.
No. Did you do them?
I started my, I didn't finish, but I started my, my driving safety course. A lot was going on and I started it, but I never finished it. But I was going to ask if there's a way that I could do community service or do a fine or anything in that to help that scenario.
So the scenario is that you have $1,000. There is a possession of tobacco by a minor, a no driver's license charge, and a failure to control speed. The course of action we moved to do was to do teen court. You paid a $60 teen court fee, and I was going to allow you to do a driver's safety course, which will run you about $40. And then the tobacco course is a required by law course. I cannot waive it. I must collect it or suspend your license or your ability to get a license. that class was due, and that was probably about a $70 class. So what you're saying to me is, instead of paying $1,000, I mean $110 for classes roughly, you'd rather pay $1,000 and still have a class to do. I mean, we're February, we're 60 days out from your deadline, and I'm just trying to figure out why I mean, you're doing fantastic, but you're not meeting the demands. You certainly didn't honor your promise to do your classes. Why can't you get your classes done?
Yes, ma'am. I don't know what was going on, but I just like did not get to them. I don't know if it was school was a problem or something, if I had my extracurriculars in the way, but yes, ma'am. I started it, then I just like never finished them.
I can give you 2 weeks to finish, and then I'm gonna have to convict you, and you'll owe the $1,000, and you'll still have a tobacco class to do. That's what I can do.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Say, so I can write it down so I know what I'm going to do. Say I finish my driver's course class and my tobacco class within these 2 weeks. What
and turn
would
them
be
in.
the next?
You have to turn them in.
Yes, ma'am. With the certificate and everything.
Yes, of course.
Yes, ma'am. How would I receive that?
Depends on the provider you've chosen.
Well,
they usually email it to you, and you email it to us. I mean, it's usually pretty simple, but you have to finish it or they won't do that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Extension on his show cause, I'll accept it up to that date. I will extend your show cause. Okay. That means I'll accept it up to that date, which is going to be the 15th of February. You need to get these classes done and get them turned in, or you're going to owe us a lot of money. We can do community service for that money, but that money, if I do community service, is 50 hours of community service, plus you'll have to do the class anyway, or I'll just keep suspending your license.
Yes,
I don't know what you're playing at. I don't know what you're playing at, but you need to get on board or you're going to have some deeper consequences. Ms. Rice,
yes,
hold on just a moment, Mr. Laura. Ms. Rice, Mr. Cummings is patiently waiting, and I had taken him off my list. I do not know why. I think I did it when I figured out his name and I crossed him out and did not mean to do that. So my apologies to you both. Mr. Cummings, Ms. Rice is here. You've received an invitation to join that meeting. If you could switch over to that meeting, we want to keep you on track, sir. Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Laura, let's see. I think you're going to need to come by the court and get copies of the paperwork that we provided you before. And I will accept it late, but I'm not going to accept it after the 15th of February. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I understand. I actually have the paperwork, I believe.
I need certificates. Okay, well, I don't know. You seem confused, but you just have to sign up for your 2 classes and get them done and turn them in. It's not hard.
Yes, ma'am.
I normally don't even give extensions. Don't waste the time, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're good to go. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. Would I need to come in today at all to sign or get paperwork?
Does he need to sign? I can just do it. Yeah. Okay, no, you don't.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So just extension to February 15th and get those courses done. I just think you need to write it down, But all right. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Okay. Don't make me regret it, please.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for attention. Yeah.
Okay, moving forward, I want to talk to let's see. Didn't Thibodeau get resolved? No. Miss Thibodeau, yeah, we've got her. Hi, Miss Thibodeau. Let's just get you moved forward. Let me find out your total now, okay? Is it reflected? And let me get her thing back. I think I handed it over. No, I kept it right here. One more up. Okay, so who's doing that? We're still trying to get your total, but we haven't forgotten you. Okay, Ms. Thibodeau?
Okay.
Okay, we'll be back with you shortly. And Ms. Martinez? Morning.
Good morning.
So, hi, how are you?
We're doing good.
Good, okay. Well, you're on time for court. The request was for teen court. Where do you go to school, Kimberly?
She goes to Temple. She doesn't speak too much English,
Okay.
but she is here.
Are you her mom?
I'm her cousin, but I am her guardian. She has came from Mexico since July, so she's learning.
So
She knows-
she lives with you and you're her primary conservator.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the first question I have is, are y'all getting the license? Is it possible?
Well, that's what I've been working on since because she went to Mexico in December, so I told her to wait because I didn't know if she was gonna come back or not for sure. She did come back. I've been looking into that one. I thought the school did them, but they told me that they don't know more. So I've been trying to see how else we can do, because I do want her to get her permit, her license, because I'm getting her ID on February the 10th here in Temple. I already have an appointment for that, but I do want to get hers the fastest way possible. But I guess the school, I thought it would be the school, but they don't do it no more.
No, yeah, they don't do it. And the ticket was January 10th. We're almost a month out. And I guess, to me, the easiest way is for her to get that license, but I can do teen court. I need proof of enrollment in school. Like I just need a student ID or proof of enrollment. There's a $20 fee. And then there's a class, which it would be a life skills class, because to take the driving courses, you have to have a driver license. So
what kind of class is it again?
It's a life skills class. It's about decisions. There is a Spanish option on that class.
And where does she take?
Online.
On her, can she do it on her Apple phone, on her iPhone?
Yes, she can. One thing I want to tell you, Kimberly, I'm not very good with Spanish, okay? But no puede conducir sin licencia, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's illegal. And the problem is they're going to start taking her to jail if she keeps doing it. And that triggers a bunch of things. And if you're from another country, it triggers a bunch of things. And, there's just no reason to go there, okay? So can we get the proof of enrollment in school today?
So you need her ID, like the ID number?
No, usually they have an ID and they just bring it to me, ma'am. If you can't get that, you can go on to Skyward and show that you're enrolled.
Yeah, we did get and log in after we left that day because we couldn't log in when we were at the office. So do I take a picture of that and send it to this court online help?
Can, but I need y'all to come by the court to sign the paperwork this morning.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, well, she needs to come too.
Okay.
And there's a $20 fee that's cash that needs to be paid. And then a life skills class due March 3rd. And we'll give you paperwork that tells you how to find that one.
So can we go back to the license on how, I seen that this Austin driving class here in Temple,
Yeah.
they
Go
have
on.
a, can she do the whole day class? Is that
I
something?
don't, you'll need to talk to them about it. I'm ordering a life skills about decisions. Because I know that to take a driving safety course that I can send you to, that's gonna be, they're gonna keep asking you about your license and they'll kick you out of the class if you don't have one. So I can't order that one. Are you saying that y'all are gonna enroll in the Austin driving school?
I mean, I was thinking of looking into that. It's either that or the online course, but I don't know which online course is okay to go with.
I think that you need to get onto the DPS website and find out how to get a license. I mean, that's where you find out. It's from the place that gives you the license.
Yeah.
If you enroll in Austin, I'm tempted to reschedule y'all for 2 weeks so you can get some information. Because if you're going to pay for Austin driving school, it's not cheap, but you're going to get through a process. You're going to know what you're supposed to do. I mean, part of what they're charging you for is they're walking you through it, right? So that I could count for teen court. So I don't want to order a life skills class if you're going to go do that. If you're not going to do that, then I'm probably going to order a life skills course. So I feel like right now I don't have enough to send it to you. And I would like you to extend 2 weeks and we'll start over. But we'll have a better idea of what's going to work.
Okay.
Okay. So right now I'm going to put this on hold.
But we still go today and give you the paperwork.
That would be good. Yeah, that would be good. And I'm going to extend you to the 15th. And we'll go from there once you find out what you're going to do to get a license back. Because I don't really like to schedule people for overkill. You know, it isn't necessarily beneficial to hit it hard with a hammer. If you're going to go do something educational to get the license, that's what I'd be wanting to do anyway. So we might be able to count it for whatever you're doing it for plus here, you know. So why don't you find out what you need to do? She should be eligible to get a license. But I don't know that, and you don't know that until you start really engaging in that process, okay?
Is there books for Spanish for like I remember back in the day.
You're asking me to tell you what a provider over there does, and I don't know the answer to that. Some of the online stuff that I have encountered does, but I don't know that those are approved to get your ticket, you get your driver's license. That I do not know. I would imagine someone does. And I would think Austin Driving School is the first place to start just because they're the biggest one. They might have that resource. Okay. And if they don't, they might be able to refer you to someone.
Yeah. Okay.
But probably have to get online and find out the steps you need to take.
Yeah, I will.
That's yours and her homework for next time. Okay.
Okay. So you said in 2 weeks?
Yes. And we'll send you the link. We'll send a link, right? The extension for this court date. Yeah. Yeah, we're rescheduling, extending 2 weeks. Oh, okay. Well, this says the 15th. So, yeah, but it should be for 2 weeks. I don't know court date when I'm here. These should be court dates when I'm here, or I'm scheduling people for proceedings that I'm not planning to be here for, if that makes sense. Okay. Okay. So it's going to be the 17th, not the 15th. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. Okay. Then at that point, that's like homework. Then we can make a court order because, again, if you're going to go do Austin Driving School, then I'm adding another 6 to 8 hour course on top of that when I don't need to because you're going to be there a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see you then. Okay.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. And Ms. Rice, Mr. Cummings, are we heading toward a resolution? Are we heading to trial?
Your Honor, we've reached a resolution.
Okay.
Mr. Cummings does qualify for that standing motion number 19. The court doesn't have a copy of his handicap placard, but he did show it to me.
Okay, can you, I can't fill it out without it, and we copy it in the file.
Okay, then I'll fill it out. I'll send in a motion.
Okay, great. If it's your motion and you sign it, I don't need to prove that I followed number 19. If it's my motion, I need proof that I followed. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yes. Makes perfect sense.
Okay. I'm just making a note. Okay. I've noted the file, and thank you, Mr. Cummings, for your time today. And we will send you a copy. We'll email, we will email that to you once I have it done. Okay. You're unmuted. You're not unmuted yet, but I can't hear your voice, but I'd like to. There we go. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you. And it was nice meeting you.
Oh, well, thank you for that. And we just try to, do the community thing here.
I could tell, and you did a good job.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings. That means a lot to me.
Okay.
And Ms. Rice. Thank you on behalf of the court.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Ms. Rice, I'm sorry about that. When I took his name, I scratched him off because I knew who he was, and he had come in as Galaxy Tab A, and when I crossed that out, I didn't cross that out. I crossed out his name. I just missed it. Sorry about that.
Oh no, it's not a problem. I'm glad he hung around so we could take care of it.
Thank you for your flexibility.
Okay, all right, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Ms. Thibodeau, I think we're close. You've had to wait the whole time, but when we start taking money off, there's only a few people who get to do that in my system. It just has to do with how system permissions work. And so let me just double check on it and see if we've got you a number. I don't think we do yet. Oh, do we? What's her 500? Okay, so it turns into $563. And you think paying $200 today, you can do that online? Okay. And then that'll leave you a balance of $300.63. How long do you need to pay that?
If I could just get a couple of months, that would be okay.
Okay, can we break it into two payments of $150.63 and $150?
Yes.
And can you look at a calendar and name your dates for me? Because I want to just do this.
Okay, let me look. Up there. Let's see. Can we do February 15th and March 15th?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
All right. So I will just send that over as a payment plan to you. Can you sign it and email it back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then just once you do that, that triggers, now it's okay to pay the $200 because it's going to go in the right way. And if you have any problems, you can call the clerk or email the court online.
Okay. And then when I make that last payment, does it lift? Okay.
Yeah. Now the warrant lifts today.
Oh, okay.
The hold on the license is once there's a zero balance. Okay. And we have 5 days to do the release. And then the state has, they say 20 to 21 days. They don't mean calendar days. They mean business days. So that gives them about another 3 to 4 weeks to get it done. So just be aware, the information I'm going to send you is going to show you how to go online and look at your suspensions and see what they are. and what you need to fulfill to get the license back. And it'll also be, there's a failure to appear list, and you'll have open cases with our court and any other tickets with. And at that point, your cases will move once you zero out and we send and they clear, it moves from an open case to a closed case. And that's how you're going to know, okay, I've cleared that hurdle. It's a process. It takes a while, but you can do it.
Yeah, thank you. I
Really,
appreciate
you
you.
can. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah. So I'm going to let him in to tell him he's going to. And if I reschedule for the next pretrial, I'm just going to add him to 210 since she already would have been. But we have to signal that her it's an add-on. Those are my rules. Okay. When is this fun? Okay. Hi, Mr. Flowers. Can you hit your unmute button so we can talk? Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
I'm sorry. I thought it was tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not. And so here's the problem. We are done with court, and I've already we were just about to end the meeting when you popped in, and I thought, well, let me talk to him first.
Yes,
I don't want to be rude and just kick you out. But court is over for today.
Yes,
So I had a couple of questions while we're at it, because I have you on a payment plan, and I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
wanted to check in about it. I don't think you have anything due until January 27th. I think is your next. Well, we've passed that date, right?
Yes,
So, and were you able to make your most recent payment? I didn't look today.
Yes, ma'am. I was on my way up to make my payments today.
Okay. What is your payment without me looking? What do you pay each
I
time?
think $20.
$20?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that every month or every 2 weeks? What is that?
Every 2 weeks.
Okay. So how far behind are you? Just one payment?
Just one.
Okay. So I'll tell the clerk that you're allowed to catch that payment up today. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, my next question is on your payment plan. You didn't have any food allowance that you filled out for me, but you have 4 children. Are they
Yes, ma'am.
living with you all the time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you have community service being taken out. I mean, sorry, child support being taken out of your paycheck. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do they remove it at Buc-ee's for you?
Yes, ma'am.
And send it? Okay. And so what you gave me, $300 a week, that's what you get after they removed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I wanted to double check on that. And then my next question is food. Are you paying for the food for your kids? Or
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
have
I
to
am.
get food stamps?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And does anyone help you, like the other parent, or
Yes, ma'am.
does she pay child support?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you have all the kids, or she has
No,
some?
ma'am. I don't have all the kids. I have 3 of my kids.
Okay, you have 3 of your kids.
Yes,
There are
ma'am.
4 kids. Which
Yes, ma'am.
which 3 are with you full time?
My 3 youngest.
Okay, so Evie, Elias,
Elias and Benjamin.
okay. And then Abriana is living with her mom.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand. To me, what I'm seeing, and let me just double check this now with all this new information. Has anything else changed? Do you have rent? You have a mortgage, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And those usually don't go up, they stay the same.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm having, let's see. What do you think you spend a month on food?
Ooh, a month. I'm gonna say I don't. I honestly, my wife does the shopping. So I don't know.
Okay,
Like,
so you're married.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm not married. I'm with the.
You cohabitate.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so what bills does she pay?
She's paid the water and the cable. And we go half on the mortgage.
Okay. And then you have a $300 phone bill. That must include her, huh?
I'm sorry?
And your $300 phone bill, that includes her? Probably.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
That's probably more than one phone, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now I understand better. I was trying to figure out how you were managing this all because it was more than you could manage. But now I see that it's okay. Y'all are all right. So yeah, so payments you're doing every 2 weeks. And then there's a new charge of no fresh water provided. And that is has to do with an animal. And you've contested that charge. You had a pretrial at 9 o'clock today. You missed it. So I'm going to allow that we reschedule it on February 10th.
Yes, ma'am.
And your final pretrial was scheduled on March 23rd. And is that the one we're changing? To what date? Okay, what was it scheduled for? Okay, it was scheduled for February 23rd. That's moving to March 23rd because there's a schedule conflict. So we'll send that information to you.
Okay.
Reset, okay? Actually, though, if you want, when you come by to pay your $20 today, you could just pick up a copy. What time will you be here?
I can be there within the next 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, so I'll just put a note that you're coming in to pay your makeup fee and that you have to pick up your information.
Yes, ma'am.
And they'll probably email you the link. You need to email the link. All right, so we're good to go. It's just I can't, she was on just a few moments ago, and then about 20 minutes after she logged out, you logged in. So I had excused her because she was waiting, and then
yes, ma'am.
We were ending court. Okay, so we'll see you up here at the front desk. You need to log in at 9 o'clock next time.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize.
Thank you. Thank you. It is court, so we need to keep a steady ship, so to speak.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a nice day, ma'am.
You too. Bye-bye.